Okay na kayo. Ayan. So, base po sa inyong laboratory results sa CBC po ninyo, pero po kayo nag-increase WBC tsaka neutrophils. Ito po ay, nangangahulugan na may bacterial infection po sa inyong katawan. Ngayon po, wala naman po mga remarkable na findings sa inyong blood chem. Yun po yung sa CBC kanina. Yun po sa blood chem, wala naman po masyado. Ngayon po, sa liver enzymes naman ninyo, increase ang inyong AST at ALT. Bali po, posibleng may problema doon sa may liver o kaya sa mga kalapit na organs nito. Kaya din po yung bilirubin ninyo, increase po yun. So, posible po merong obstruction. Kaya po, para po mas malaman natin, mag-proceed po tayo sa ultrasound po. Okay po yun.
Okay po.
Kumusta naman po kayo? Okay na kayo ngayon?
Hindi pa rin to, masakit lang.
Sige po, malalaman din po natin kung ano yung sakit ninyo.
Okay, salamat.
Search for ultrasound po ba kayo?
Opo.
Wala pong pasyente, so kayo na po yung Sir, kumusta po?
Masakit po rin.
Opo na po kayo. Higa po kayo.
Tapos sir, ang gagawin lang po namin, check upin lang po namin, sabihin niyo lang po kung may masakit ha.
Sige po.
Lalagyan lang namin ng gel. Basta natin to. Sabihin niyo lang kung malamig. Malamig po ba? Masabi po ano?
Okay lang po.
Yung
Result po ng ultrasound nyo po.
Opo.
Ipapa-interpret po natin yan sa doktor nyo po. Ano po?
Sige po.
Ngayon po, proceed na po ulit kayo sa waiting area.
Bali po, sa ultrasound niyo po, patient search, meron po kahit po hindi kita po dapat yung mga stones po dyan, may nakita po. So, bali po, i-work,
yan ang nilalaban sa mga
ipitig po namin kayo for possible, for gallstones po, okay?
Okay po.
Ayun na po. Ayan, nakikita niyo.
na maganda. Ganda.
Ang programang ito ay rated SPG. Striktong patnubay at gabayang magulang ang kailangan. Maaaring may masisirang tema, lengguwahe, karahasan, sexual, horror o droga na hindi ang
Differential diagnosis, pasok!
Okay, mga doctors, pakita na natin ang ating mga differential diagnosis. Ako ang magsisimula. Sa pinakauna natin differential diagnosis, pakita po ninyo. Wala po yung slide. So, ang mga risk factors, commonly nasa elderly female siya. You see women with PHRT who have type 2 diabetes mellitus and are immunocompromised patients. So we rule this in the patient because we have an obese patient. Obviously, he has a BMI of 33.7 with a recurrent attack of constant crampy epigastric pain associated with the intake of fat food. The constant crampy abdominal pain is on the right upper quadrant and he experiences for 1 to 3 hours. Pain radiates to the right upper quadrant and shoulder or the right upper back. This is actually what you call the positive colon sign. So he is actually febrile, 38.2 degrees Celsius. He has direct and rebound tenderness on the right upper quadrant and is also positive for Murphy's sign as you saw earlier in the physical examination. We ruled this out because there's an absence of anorexia and vomiting as well as the absence of jaundice in his age and gender. He's still very young. So, my first differential diagnosis is acute cholecystitis.
Yes, banker. So, acute cholecystitis, there will do we rule it out? So, how about the next differential diagnosis?
Oh, but wait, I still have more.
Sure.
So for my next differential diagnosis, the risk factors is actually common in elderly
Female, gender, multiple pregnancies, obesity, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, type 2 diabetes mellitus, heredity, drugs, and hypolipidemic drugs. So we ruled this in based on the abrupt to constant crampy pain, the epigastric pain that the patient experienced, and that the pain begins postprandially, especially when he eats fatty food, as you noticed earlier with the chicharron. So the pain radiates also to the right upper quadrant and shoulder or the right upper back, and he's also positive for sonologic Murphy's sign. He has T-colored urine with icteric sclera and has direct and rebound tenderness on the right upper quadrant. So we ruled this out on the basis of the patient's age and gender, the absence of nausea and vomiting, and the absence of jaundice. So my next differential diagnosis is choledocholithiasis.
So, i-rule in ba natin or i-rule out? Next differential diagnosis is
Alright. Thank you, Dr. Valeria, for that. Ang next differential diagnosis natin, diba, ang patient natin had a history of IBD. And then, this disease I'm considering is 2%, has a prevalence of 2% for men, and 25% for women. And this, of course, mostly during the 2nd and 4th decade of the life, which in our patient is about 33 years old siya. And then, there is, again, slight male to female predominance of 1.2 to 1 is to 3. 1.3 is to 1. Alright, so, I consider this disease because of the following factors as seen in the patient. Like, of course, the positive Murphy sign and the physical examination. And then, there's presence of fever also, and crampy abdominal pain, which was initially seen in the epigastrium. However, in our patient, there was absence of pain localization on the right lower quadrant, which is the common presentation of the appendix, of my disease. And then there's absence of anorexia, absence of nausea and vomiting, and also there was absence of obturator and psoas sign. And lastly, there was no obstipation in our patient. So, by now, what do you think is my differential diagnosis, doctors? Secret, diba? Reveal ka na? Tada! Appendicitis.
So para kay Dr. G's ay appendicitis, i-rule in ba natin siya o i-rule out? So next doctor. Our next doctor is Armina Arenas.
So good morning. So for our patient, this is my differential diagnosis doctors. So for the risk factors, there's a H. pylori infection. The patient uses NSAID chronically. And the patient smokes. And there's psychological stress. And then we rule it in then kasi meron siya abdominal epigastric pain, which is evident doon sa history niya, di ba? And then the pain begins postprandially, especially when he eats fatty foods. Then he's also a smoker of 5 years. For 5 years. And I rule it out because There's no signs of anemia or hypertension. There's no dyspepsia, belching, or bloating, which is evident in my differential diagnosis. And there's no weight loss, nausea, and vomiting. So what do you think is my differential diagnosis?
What is it, doctor?
So I will reveal it now. Wait lang.
Dr. Arenas, buksan na yan! Peptic ulcer disease. I-rule in ba natin ito o i-rule out? Meron pa ba kayong ibang differentials? Dr. Corios?
Good morning, doctors. For my differential diagnosis, ang risk factors ng diagnosis nito ay alcoholic patient with a history of biliary stone disease, history of trauma. I ruled it in. Why did I rule it in? I ruled it in because of the patient experienced crampy abdominal epigastric pain. Pain that is sudden in onset until reaching a constant state. There is also a pain which radiates to the back and the presence of fever. Why did I rule it out? I ruled it out because of the absence of boring through type of pain, absence of tachycardia, tachypnea, and hypotension, absence of guarding in the epigastric region, the absence of the colon and Gray Turner sign, and the absence of abdominal distension. Doctors, do you want to know my differential diagnosis?
Yes!
My differential diagnosis is pancreatitis.
So we considered pancreatitis. Next is the thorns among the roses. Thorns. Thorn bastards. Next is Mr. Dr. Kevin Cortes, our guest doctor.
Of course, hindi tayo papahuli. Amidst that, those differential diagnoses, we still have one more differential diagnosis. This disease has a risk factor history of travel, has a sexual contact with an infected individual. It also has exposure to infected bodily fluids. It also has a risk factor of ingestion of infected foods and liquids. To rule it in, we consider the following signs and symptoms. First is the right upper quadrant pain. Second is the decolored urine, and the third is the presence of fever. However, to rule this thing out, and to rule this disease out. Okay, stop. To rule it out, the patient doesn't have jaundice, nausea, and vomiting. He also have an absence of travel history, and the patient also is also not an alcoholic drinker. Now, ito ang differential diagnosis ko.
Now we considered hepatitis. So, ano sa tingin nyo ang dapat nating differential diagnosis? Working impression.
Working impression.
Doctors, may idea ba kayo?
Meron.
Nakapili na ba kayo?
Yes, we have decided.
So, can you reveal our working impression?
Diba, Dr. Cassius, hawak mo na siya. Ano yung ating working impression? Pakipakita sa kanilang lahat. Our working impression is acute cholecystitis secondary to cholelithiasis. Thank you very much.
Now that we have our working impression, it's now time to present the pathophysiology of the disease.
Search, meron na po tayong sagot sa iyong mga sakit. So, ipapaliwanag lang po ni Dr. Ferreria at ni Dr. De La Cruz ang iyong sakit.
Okay, so magandang umaga po, sir.
Umaga.
Kamusta na po ang pakiramdam?
Masakit pa rin po ang ko.
Okay. So ngayon po nakapag-usap ng mga doktor ninyo at ngayon ipapaliwanag ko naman po sa inyo kung paano po nangyari, kung ano bang nangyari, kung bakit kayo nagkaroon ng sakit. So una, di ba sinabi na nila yung mga risk factors na meron kayo, ano ba yung sa history nyo, di ba, kumakain kayo ng mga matatabang pagkain tulad ng chicharon, tapos naninigarilyo kayo ng
Malboro.
at umiinom kayo ng
Minsan po beer. Minsan po empty.
okay. So dahil dyan, ang gallstones po o yung tinatawag po natin na bato sa abdo ay resulta po yan ng pagsisettle ng mga solids sa solution. So meron po tayong mga solutes kagaya ng bilirubin, bile salts, phospholipids, at cholesterol. So paano ba nangyayari ito? So maaari po na there is too much absorption of water from the bile, too much absorption of bile acids from bile, too much cholesterol in the bile, and inflammation of the gallbladder po, of the epithelium. So ano ba unang nangyayari? So normally, ang cholesterol talaga ay insoluble siya sa water. Ibig sabihin hindi siya natutunaw sa tubig. So, pagkatapos nun, sa mga dahilan na in-enumerate natin kanina, maaaring magkaroon tayo ng supersaturation. So, ano pang ibig sabihin nito? Supersaturation, ibig sabihin yung cholesterol concentration ay mas mataas kaysa sa solubilizing capacity ng bile. So, after nyan, magkakaroon tayo ng increased penetration ng cholesterol sa gallbladder wall. At kapag ito'y nangyari, mag-decrease naman ang ability ng mucosa ninyo para mag-detoxify via esterification. So, dahil dyan, bababa ang responsiveness ng gallbladder sa cholecystokinin para mag-contracto ito. So, ang cholecystokinin po ay isang hormone na nakakapag-stimulate para mag-contract ang gallbladder para mag-release siya ng bile to, para ma-metabolize po natin ang fats natin. So, kapag hindi na siya nagre-respond sa hormones na nakakapag-contract nito, magkakaroon tayo ng gallbladder hypomotility. So, kapag hindi nag-contract ang bile, magkakaroon tayo ng stasis, which is yung contents ng gallbladder, which is yung bile, ay may iwan po sa loob ng abdo ninyo. So, yan. So, kapag nagkaroon tayo ng stasis, magkakaroon naman tayo ng rapid nucleation or tinatawag natin na ito yung ibig sabihin po nito, mas mabilis po yung yung turnover from liquid to crystal. So, ito po yung mga yung stones nga, ito yung mga cholesterol crystals na tinutukoy natin. So, after nyan, anong resulta? Nagkaroon po kayo ng bato sa abdo. So, may katanungan pa kayo?
Ano po ang gamutang gagawin po sa akin?
Okay, dahil sa katanungan po ninyo niyan, ang makakapag-sagot po nito ay si Dr. Ferreria.
Thank you, Dr. De La Cruz. Hindi ko kasi ma-explain yun, no? Kaya siya nag-explain sa inyo. Ngayon, ang gagawin natin, dahil masakit na masakit po, i-confine natin kayo, tapos gagawin natin is initially medical management. So, ang gagawin po natin doon, susweruhan po namin kayo para bigyan kayo ng IV fluids. Sunod doon, bibigyan po namin kayo ng analgesia, yung mga methylamic acid, ibuprofen, para po hindi na po masyado maramdaman yung sakit, ano? Tapos, kailangan niya pong mag-opera. Pero bago po yung operation ninyo, kailangan natin mag-administer ng antibiotics. Okay? Kasi hindi natin, kasi syempre sa tiyan niyo po yan banda, so medyo marumi po yan. So, yung antibiotics natin will cover gram-negative aerobes as well as anaerobes. and we will be using third-generation cephalosporins with good anaerobic coverage. The second-generation cephalosporins can also be combined with metronidazole, and an amino glycoside with metronidazole can be used for patients who are allergic to cephalosporins. Pero ninyo nga po kanina, no, wala naman po kayong allergy sa mga medication. Sige, so iko-confine na po natin kayo, tapos yung mga orderly po ang bahala muna sa inyo, ha?
Order.
Surgery na po, sir.
Hi residents, we're very sterile. The surgical management that we will be performing is actually called a cholecystectomy. So we usually make sure that this is a sterile location. This is the definitive treatment for acute cholecystitis. In this method, we have a 2-3 incision that is made in the upper right-hand side of the abdomen. The surgeon locates the gallbladder and removes it through the incision. So you can actually also perform a laparoscopic cholecystectomy. This procedure uses at least 3 to 4 small incisions and 3 or more laparoscopes. So you insert small tube video cameras that are attached to visualize the inside of the abdomen during the operation. The surgeon then performs the surgery while looking at a TV monitor, and the gallbladder is removed through one of the incisions and thrown away. Just joking, we don't throw it away. Okay. Now the surgery is finished and we can give post-op advice to the patient.
Okay na po kay sir. After ilang hours, after ilang hours, Sir, ay, may malay na. So, babalik po si Doktora para po kamustahin kayo, and andyan din po yung mga family niyo.
Sir, gising na po ba kayo? O, kamusta ang pakiramdam?
Yung sugat na lang po. Medyo masakit ngayon, pero okay na naman po.
O, huwag ka mag-alala, binigyan ka naman namin ng Ketorol Lucky. Pataas na lang natin yung dosage para hindi mo masyado maramdaman yung tahi. Ano? So ngayon, natatanggal po natin yung inyong gallbladder. Nilagay po namin sa isang vial para makita naman din ninyo mamaya kung gusto niyo siya makita. So pagkatapos naman ng cholecystectomy, ang prognosis ng mga pasyente ay uncomplicated cholecystitis has a low mortality. However, mortality can be as high as 50% in immunocompromised patients. But since our patient is not immunocompromised, we are looking at a very good prognosis. So in addition, complicated cholecystitis has up to a 25% mortality rate, and perforation of the gallbladder can occur in 3 to 15% of patients with cholecystitis, and is also associated with a 60% mortality rate. So we are very thankful that Surge came in early, even if it's been going on for 6 months, so that we are able to perform the cholecystectomy. Thank you very much, doctors, and have a good day.
Diyan po nagtatapos ang gallbladder.